Chase, what is BPP? We have a whole division in our company that focuses on BPP. What is that? Explain that.
Yeah, BPP is business personal property. That is essentially defined as any equipment, furniture, fixtures that are used in business purposes to create income.
Cars,
It
trucks.
could also include inventory, work in process. There's many different things that qualify for that, and technically that is all taxable by the appraisal district.
So let's define a couple of those things. Let's flesh that out a little bit. Work in process. What is that?
Yeah, so if you build widgets and in the middle of the process of building your widget, it's partially completed, that is a work in process. That is
So basically, if you're a machining company, you're a metal fabricator, you've got everything from bar stock to completed sprockets, right, that come off the machine. At every step along the way, that thing is taxable, right, until it leaves your doors. So to file your BPP rendition, which is I think is where we're going with this, we've got to have an accurate count of how many pieces of bar stock you got there, how many pieces you have incompletely machined into your new sprocket, and then how many sprockets you've got at the end that are still yet unsold.
Yeah, and so with BPP, it's a little different than with real property in that the county is going to guesstimate what you have if you don't tell them ahead of time. And that telling them ahead of time is called a rendition. You can say, we have this much in asset list, it's depreciated by this much because of its age, and so therefore this is the value. And the county can choose to accept that or throw that out and create their own value. But that is a rendition, and that has a different deadline than real property as far as when that is due. That is due April 15th, or at least you have to have filed an extension by that point. So either the rendition or the extension is due April 15th.
So before just a normal property tax protest deadline, typically,
Yeah,
about a month before
a month beforehand. You can still appeal that value. So let's say you tell the county, I have $5,000 worth of BPP equipment,
Computers
assets,
or desks,
whatever
or
the case may be.
yeah, whatever.
I have $5,000 worth. The county says, yeah, okay, we're going to assess your value at $15,000. You can still file an appeal on May 15th. They may not even have a value for that yet, but it's always safe to file the appeal and you can just withdraw it later. But that gives you the opportunity to prove your asset list to them if they didn't accept it the first time around.
Where do we come into that?
Right, so it's really complicated. A rendition can be extremely complicated depending on what you have, what is in your warehouse, what is in your office space.
What exemptions you're eligible for.
Right, that too, because there are many exemptions when it comes to BPP that many people just don't know about, depending on if it's being shipped back and forth to different locations, if it's even in the state for a certain period of time. Right. So navigating all that is where we come in. We're going to talk to you about what it is that you do, what you have asset list-wise, what you may be eligible for. We're going to help you we're going to help do the rendition for you and file it timely and make sure that the county sticks with that value that we've assessed to you and they don't come back and throw that value that you've rendered out and provide their own. We're going to fight for that value for you.